So let's go ahead and take a look at task management again within Google Tasks. Now this happens to be a program called DropTask, and it's available at droptask.com. And I'm always looking for different ways to modify and to manage my tasks within Google. And I have found, as you can see, other postings here on this YouTube channel, I have found that using Google Tasks as the core and then allowing other interfaces like DropTask, for example, to access those tasks, or GD tasks that I've talked about in other videos, to access those tasks is a real plus. So again, this is a Google Tasks back end, but a DropTask front end. So let's go ahead and just take a look at a few things here. So here you can see my wide array of tasks that I have within Google Tasks. And let's go ahead and just drill down on a couple of them here. So here, for example, are some home tasks that I have set, and it works out real nice because once you click on it, of course, it comes up and shows you. So we'll click on this one here and see how you can select the due date and save that, and it kind of keeps track of it. You can add comments in there, and you can see other videos on kind of what I do when I keep tasks. You can say that the task is started, so we'll say on hold here, and the priority is very high, and the effort is very small. So here, as you see here, it's going to represent inside my circle. Because it's a very small effort, the circle gets smaller, it says very high, and then it's on hold with the due date. So it's very, very visual. If I change this to large, then it rearranges itself to be very large. So that's kind of cool right there, just all in itself. That's pretty cool. But what's neat about this is it's a full synchronization with two Google Tasks. So let's go ahead and look at what that synchronization looks like. So here, if I'm not on full screen, if you click here, you get full screen. Click here, you get back off of it. Notice here again, DropTask is what we're talking about here. If I click down here and just say sync, you see how it's syncing with my Google Tasks. Now once it syncs with the Google Tasks, we can go ahead and take a look at this. Now remember, we changed this one here called DC Lincoln. So here I'm going to go ahead and drag over my GD tasks. Now my GD tasks is my program that I use regularly to manage my tasks, and it has a lot of functionality built into it. I really like this for task management. But let's just go ahead and look at home, and then we're going to find that DC Lincoln. DC Lincoln's right there, and here it is, all of the information that we're seeing on the other screen. So let's go ahead and pop open that other screen. Now notice I don't see very high, I don't see on hold, but I do see the due date of the 9th of December. So let's go back there. Notice the due date here is 9th of December. Let's just go ahead and, just for giggles here, let's go ahead and change that to the 8th of December. And then we're going to go ahead and hit save there. Now I'm going to make sure that this is synchronized properly. So I'm just going to go ahead and select there and go to sync. Notice here in GD Tasks it tells me it's syncing. And then we should be able to go over here to this here, and this should change. Notice here it's on 9 December right now. Let's go ahead and synchronize this with Google Tasks, and this should change over to the 8th of December. And notice it just changed on us. If you notice there at the bottom, due on 8 December. If we click on here, of course, you can see now that it's due on the 8th of September. We can do that one more time and hit the 7th of September. But let's change this right here and put right above there, let's just say next, I'm printing tickets. So let's say fix printer as an example here. This is inside of the definition of the task itself. Of course, here's some more here on that task. So let's go ahead and hit synchronize. Now, synchronize does work, by the way, automatically. I'm just prompting it here because of this video. We don't want to wait, for the timeouts, but let's go ahead and just synchronize this once again. Now, remember, the change that we're looking for here is it's going to be due in 8 days now because we changed it back to the 7th. And then we should see right here under next, fix the printer. And sure enough, that occurred. We look here, we see fixed printer, and we also see December the 7th. So that's kind of cool the way you can manage it between GD tasks, and you can have it very visual. So let's say that I want to add a new task. I just simply go down to the task area. Let's go over to here. Click on here. Now I have a hide. Let's say I want to add a new task. I just grab a hold of it, place it in there, and say YouTube video, or post YouTube video. All right. So we just type that in there, say create the task. Notice it doesn't have any of our normal stuff that we put on, but we can go ahead and edit that as well, right? We'll put N2 because it's a network task. And then we're going to say that it is in progress right now, and that it's a very high priority, and that it's a large task. All right? So that's kind of all the things. Oh, and then the due date, we want to change. Let's change that in the other one. Let's change that in the other one. So let's just hit Save Changes here, and let's go ahead and prompt a synchronization. So we're going to just say synchronize. So now what we're looking for under the church in GD tasks, we're looking for post YouTube video, and we're going to go ahead and go back over to here under church right here, and we're going to hopefully see that new task appear here, and then we'll know it's all working properly. Now you can see that the task appeared here, post YouTube video. Here we can set a due date on it. Let's just say today with a reminder, sure, and keep it in church, and we're going to hit save, and of course now it's reminding us that we have to do that, so we're going to dismiss that, and then we can go back and hit sync, and I think you get the idea. The synchronization will occur now, and it will now have a due date here as soon as the synchronization is done. So that's kind of a cool thing to do with tasks and task management. I think what I like the most about this program is that it's very, very visual, and I like to have things that are visual. Notice the date now has appeared, and let's say we want to take this task then and move it into our home tasks. We can just drag it over here. Notice it takes on the characteristics of our home task area automatically so that we can do that. Now let's also say that we want to show completed tasks perhaps, and we can go down here and set a filter. So let's say what is due today. We can click on this, and now it will show out of all of our task groups only the things that are due today. Now notice here under Mind Map we have a task that was due today called puppies. I was just playing with it. And so let's say we don't want to see completed tasks. So we go there and we say no, we do not want to see completed tasks. We only want to see the one task that we have due today, which is there. We can also go back here and say clear all, and now all my tasks appear. We can also say give me everything by priority, and it will list the tasks out and due dates, and I don't have a lot of data in here, so it's not going to show a whole bunch of stuff, but I think you get the idea of how to operate this and how everything works. So that is DropTask. It integrates nicely. Now these are other tasks that are unassigned. So I want to show you this real quick before we pause and take a break. Notice here that these are unassigned tasks. So if you go back over to your Google tasks, you're going to see here ungrouped tasks. So I'm going to go ahead, I was just playing with it. Let's go ahead and mark all of those completed. And then when we go back over here, now remember we could take one of these tasks and just dump them in to another group, right? So now we have that task, unplug customer, sitting inside of another group, and then we can say to show or hide, and then once we synchronize these things, most of them will go away because they're already completed. So now they went away. So here, this one is not completed. We can go ahead and mark this bad boy as completed, and then he disappears. So anyways, I think you can see this is a great program called DropTask. It will help you manage your Gmail tasks, and it is free. There is a subscription that gets you a pro version, but there is a free version as well. Have fun.